Kicks from Stealth Bunnies. On the right side, as the purple Zerg, we have the German King Troll from TAC, Green Elf, known for his legendary use of the Bandit Skype emoticon. He's also known for having poor results recently until DRTL, but he has done a little bit better. He's won a few games of late, and this is his first round of 8 appearance. In fact, I think first time out of the group stages in general in D-Rank's tour to date. So Kix is Mech King. He's gonna make a depot. He says he idolizes fantasy, and so he says he likes to play like fantasy, which apparently to Kix means only going mech, despite the fact that actually fantasy had pretty good bio, especially towards the end of the tour. So I don't know exactly how he got from idolizing fantasy to playing mech only, but he plays mech only, and he loves to open with Vulture Harass. So expect to see that in at least a game or two. And Green Elf was aware of the fact that Kix is pretty much exclusively a mech player. Kix also plays a lot of Fighting Spirit, Circuit Breaker. I've seen him playing a lot of games on his stream. And it looks like Green Elf is going to do Le 12 Hatchery a bit late, only getting it down about 370 minerals, but not the end of the world. And Kix is doing a wall of sorts. Unless he does something weird with a factory and a shop, it will not be tight to links, but it will narrow the entrance. And he's getting gas, of course, because, well, mech needs gas pretty badly. And of course we can see the SCVs arrive. Gonna get a look at the base of Mr. Green Elf, who has his spawning pool going down real promptly. Just making it on 11 supply. Which actually, knowing that, well, it's still possible if you're a mech player, you could still bunker rush. I was gonna say, because he mechs, he wouldn't have to even get the pool that fast, but he could make Marines and bunker rush. And Green Elf, having changed the direction of the Overlord, gonna go try to get it over here to hover across the bridges and see when Kix moves out. And Kix is kind of chilling there with the SCV. No need to be moving it around right now, as the spawning pool is not done. No lings out on the field. And Kix getting near 100. Oh, he's actually got a factory already started. Alright. And gas goes down promptly for Green Elf, so looks like he's going to be opening up with a traditional 3-hatch opening, and he's going to get just a pair of lings, which is fine. Is that going to be a second pair of lings, or is that going to be a drone? It's going to be a drone. And he did drone scout, so that's safe to do. I was going to say, if he had been making like constant Marines, maybe could have been a little bit risky, but he's gone and checked the front, so that's fine. Factory is getting fairly close to being done, which means Green Elf will need to get a sunken down at the front here as anti-vulture, and probably should have placed the 3rd hatchery over here and then the Hydra Den for a little bit better like anti-vulture SimCity, but as long as Kix doesn't do like a big run by, it'll be okay. Alright, so we have Machine Shop coming on. That's a little bit fast. Interesting that he's not making the opening Vulture. That's really common with mech to grab that guy and pop a Vulture out, but he is not going to offer that. And Green Elf is going to be going for... Oh no! Oh, it's going to get seen. But he doesn't have Lair. So, I don't know what to make of this. It's going to be fast Hydra. He starts his Lair now. First I thought Green Elf was just going to go 3-hatch Hydra bust. We'll see if he gets upgrades for the Hydra, or if he's intending to get Lurker. If he's intending to get Lurker, this is a little bit of a strange timing to get the Hydra Den out. And there, in Kix fashion, is a Vulture. That is probably why he has the Hydra Den, though, so fast. But usually if you're just going to go straight 3-hatch Lurker, you get the Lair about halfway, and then you make the Hydra Den, and then it finishes up in time. But he's probably anticipating this, as it was discussed that Kix likes to do this a lot. And Kix feeling confident, going to get a bunker outside his base and get a base up, and Vultures coming out now. Mines being researched. One is being sent across the map right now. There's a sunken at the front. A Ling sitting back on the ramp there for Green Elf, and actually putting down a second creep colony. Probably a little overkill. And mostly just drones being made. A couple Hydra. Hopefully he's going to keep these Hydra in the main to deal with this drop. Vulture tries to run by, but the Ling is wonderfully positioned and denies that, and Vulture dies. And so Kicks now with 2 Vultures and getting a tank out and getting Siege, so perhaps the drop is going to be with 2 Vultures and Siege, and a few mines at the front for safety. He has not put down the command center yet. And Green Elf has not taken his natural gas yet. Also no ups for the Hydras. And that's actually going to make Spire. Okay, so the Hydra really is just for anti-drops and for Wraith potential. Although I have not seen Kicks do 2-port Wraith before. Alright, so we got the dropship on the way. Vulture heading out across the map here, going to lay some mines, and the other one back at home. I hope he's going to drop more than just 1 tank. Even 2 tanks I don't think is that great of a drop. Actually sieging this up here as a defensive tank will cover a little bit of the front, but honestly sieging up there, it leaves most of this area exposed. Not the easiest map to defend with siege tanks. And yeah, we can see Green Elf definitely is aware that Kicks is going to try and drop. And a Ling runs into a mine and dies. Okay, so dropship is done. What is he going to use it for? Yeah, I'm not certain yet. A single vulture? What? Really? And it flies right over the Overlord. This is like the biggest joke of a drop I've ever seen in my life. I guess he could pick up the second vulture, but even a 2 vulture drop is somewhat unimpressive. It's like almost not worth the hassle. Like honestly, if you're just gonna drop 1 vulture, I don't think it's worth it even to waste the to delay your CC that much just to get a starport out. Like he's only just now starting his command center, and all this for like a 1 vulture drop that's half forgotten about. So he's gonna probably end up being behind a Green Elf. In fact, we can see supply-wise, it's already a little bit favoring Green Elf. And it's like 1 vulture. It can't even do that much damage. Like you're not even like, oh yeah, this drop might get him back into it. If it does a lot, we can see Muta coming out now for Green Elf. And Kick's defense looking really thin right now. He's not even started Goliath production yet. He's getting a couple of turrets up. I'm a bit worried for him actually at this stage of the game. Muta now headed out. And we can see some Hydra's speed and an Evo chamber going down. As the Muta just kind of chill on this top route. And oh, he's actually going to go Valks. Okay, that's a way to defend Muta. Going to be pretty opportunistic arrival for the Muta, though. He can snipe the Valk. If he sees it in time, will he go for it? Yeah, he's targeting it. I like this defense. Needs to chase it down a little bit more. Doesn't. Definitely had the opportunity to go after that Valk. Running around. Okay, there we go. Now he's going to go ahead and target down the Valk. And Kick is trying to do repair, but it will not be enough. And down goes that first Valk pretty easily. And now Green Elf is going to try and camp the 2 turrets, but there's a Goliath out. I think this is a little too much. He's only got 5 or 6 Muta right now in this stack. Going back and harassing the gas. Alright, that's fine. There's only 1 Goliath. Let's quickly check. No, he's not making more Muta, so this is probably going to be it on the Muta, so it doesn't need to overcommit too much with the harass. And we'll go ahead and fly out. Let's see how many Muta actually he has. He's only got 4, yeah, in that little group there, so... Not going to do much, but he is switching into a bunch of Hydra, and Kick's only just now getting his natural up. In fact, he's not mined from the natural at all. So we're sitting at 8 minutes and well, almost 9 minutes in this game, and he actually hasn't started mining from his natural yet. So, and he hasn't done anything with this dropship. I'm not really liking the build from Kicks for that reason. Green Elf kind of getting a free advantage. I don't know if he's going to realize how ahead he is, but Green Elf is going to find himself very ahead in this game. I also want to check the drones. He actually hasn't droned that much, though. Kicks does have a lot more SCVs. Green Elf at only 22, which is not that many for 3-hatch Muta. It's often pretty easy to get as many as 30 or 35 drones by this stage. But he's invested a little bit into some Sunkens. He invested pretty fast into the Hydra Den, so there's a few things that have slowed his drone production. Got a few Muta out here. I guess this one's gonna kind of chill and scout expansions or whatnot, I guess. Alright, so Kicks has now started mining from his natural. Looks like a Muta ran into the turret. I heard it dying. So some cute little scouting Muta by Green Elf. The dropship from Kicks seems to be absolutely forgotten. It's been sitting here for like 3 minutes. Yeah, but you can't say fantasy for life and then refuse to play bio. I mean, that doesn't even make sense, man. Like, you can't call yourself a fantasy fan and never play bio. Alright, so Hive coming on the way from Green Elf, a bit atypical. Usually you don't get your Hive that fast. Usually against mech you'll expand to, you know, 3 if not 4 more bases first and get a big economy going, and then just go Hive a little bit later. Muta Hydra suffices to handle early mech timings decently well, and then later on you can start to add in your Hive and work in Lurkers and Defilers and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, fantasy build isn't fantasy, and fantasy does other things than the fantasy build. It's the incomplete fantasy, man. And yeah, the fantasy build has to actually like feature a drop. And it's more than one vulture, I promise you. Okay, the dropship is returned with its single vulture cargo undropped. Still this lone Hydra sitting here. And Green Elf just kind of surrounding with Hydras right now. He actually... Oh, never mind. I was going to say he actually could attack. He almost could go in there and attack at the bottom and kind of try to micro down here and force some tanks down and pick off some SCVs and be annoying, but it's a little bit of demanding micro. And now Kix is going to bring some of his tanks down on the low ground, which will block that option. A vulture getting sniped off here, and it looks like Green Elf going to send a Muta into the main here. Get a little scout off, tickles the dropship before being chased away by the Valkyrie. And another hatchery going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases for Green Elf, and there we go. Now he's taking the bottom base. So starting to consume the map, although the drones again pretty low. What are we looking at right now? Drone counts 45. Green Elf getting up to 33, so starting to get a little bit more of an economy, but it's not all that strong. We can see that Kix actually has a little more minerals per minute right now than Green Elf, which definitely shouldn't have been the case. If Green Elf had been aware of his position, he could have exploited that a lot better and had a much stronger economy. Still got one Muta down here patrolling. Has lost a couple over time through scouting, and then I went to the Goliaths there. And a few drones here just chilling. This base on the way. Not all that much to analyze or talk about right now. I think Kix is just kind of massing up. Looks like he is getting a third base. Yes, he's getting a third base. And given he's getting off 3 facts, I don't think we'll see any sort of an attack for Kix. I think he's just going to go onto 3 bases and just macro up a large army and go from there. And Green Elf realizes, yeah, I probably shouldn't attack into this. So just going to go up and sit on the high ground here. He looks like he's actually going to run away with it. Actually, he's going to bring all his Hydras up. I like this. It's only Goliaths here. So going ahead and fighting with the Hydras is fine. They'll trade pretty efficiently, especially since Kix isn't fighting with all of them. And as long as Green Elf doesn't overcommit here coming down this ramp, which it looks like he's not going to do, he'll be fine. So gets a couple nice Goliath kills and is slowly delaying, well, not exactly delaying, but oh well, putting a little bit of pressure feeling to Kix. And we can see Ling starting to come out now. He does have Hive. He's getting Adrenal. So we're going to have a little bit better mix here of units. No sign yet of Defila. Or is this Defila? No, that's another hatchery. Supplies 94 to 114. So actually pretty good position here for Green Elf supply-wise. And the command center done for Kix now, and finally we see some more factories. He's been on 3 factories for a very, very long time, which is, I mean, his money's not that high, but he just hasn't had the production. I'm almost surprised with as many SCVs as he has. He's got 45 or so that it's taken this long to get up to being able to afford more factories. I mean, yeah, he's gotten some other stuff, but it's a little unusual. Green Elf starting to drone up this base. These drones are still chilling. Of course, Adrenal is done. We're getting +2. Yeah, getting +1. Second half of +1, and so he's going to. I guess he's headed towards 2-1-1, 2 on the carapace and 1 on the other 2 upgrades. Has triple evos now. What's over here? We got a hatchery and another hatchery. I'm still worried. I'd like to see a Defiler mound or some other sort of higher tech other than just that. And Green Elf decides to attack. I'm not sure this is the wisest decisions. He doesn't have all his units up here. And yeah, he's realizing that's not going to work out very well for him. So he does pull back. And that will give Kix a little boost of confidence. He needs to get that command center floated out. Actually, Kix is moving some tanks up onto the high ground. I guess he doesn't want to sit there on that low ground, and so Hydra being tricked to run forward as they weren't on hold position, but now Green Elf noticing and pulling back. And unfortunately, a little bit of lack of macro there. And Kix oddly is actually moving down, which seems a bit aggressive. I mean, he might sort of know this is all Green Elf has, but wasteful on Green Elf's part. But I'd be surprised if Kix comes further, as Green Elf is going to have a lot of macro potential with all these hatcheries, and Kix is only just starting to put down a more respectable number of factories. Doesn't really have high capability for reinforcements. Oh, and we have a dual vulture raid coming over here. This base is defended, but this base is totally undefended, so there's going to be some damage going down at this base. Probably all the drones. Might be able to throw down a Sunken in time if he reacts quickly. So far, no reaction. Kix oddly takes a break to lay mines, and now we can see one creep colony going down. Can he get a second down? No, the mine blocks it. And so he will lose all the drones. This creep colony is actually kind of useless, as it doesn't protect behind the mineral lines at all. And it looks like Green Elf has found these hydras down here and is going to use them to clear out the vultures instead. And Kix in the meantime, actually not doing a whole lot. Thought he was moving his army forward. I saw these dots moving around, but... And Green Elf just making a boatload of hydras. Money getting pretty damn high though. And it looks like this vulture will finally... Wow, talk about padding. Usually you don't see vultures pad that bad, but that was pretty atrocious. Alright, so the money getting down, we've got some lings being added to this composition. We can see that second attack upgrade on the lings has started. And an overlord getting chased away by these Goliaths. Now Kix is really lacking factories and his money's starting to go pretty high. Although gas is a bit low, but he's only on 2 gas. This is, of course, a mineral-only base. And now Kix moving forward, but he has not brought his tanks, which is going to mean the loss of some Goliaths here. Green Elf will probably want to pull back right now, but it looks like he is just going for it. This is very aggressive. There's a lot of tanks there, and he doesn't have much Hydra spread. This isn't really the best of engagements for Green Elf. Now, if he can get some lings into the tank line, it'll be good if he's got enough stuff, but a lot of it isn't participating, and he makes the suicide move of trying to run forward onto the tanks. That works at times with goons, but with Hydra, it's really, really difficult to make that work, as they're so flimsy, they just get shot down by the siege tank splash as you move forward. So Green Elf takes some pretty serious losses here against Kix. Now moving across on Circuit Breaker, he's going to really need to make sure he keeps these macro hatcheries spamming, which unfortunately he's not. Lots of idle larvae. He definitely has enough production right now that he can beat back the attacks of Kix, but he is not spamming and macroing hard enough, so this is going to make this difficult to hold off. I mean, he's still got good position income-wise. Really needs to keep everything macroing away like crazy. Dropping another hatchery, I like this. There's a tendency for newer players, they know their macro's bad, but they also know they're not supposed to have like 10 hatcheries on 3 bases. But hey, if it's getting bad and you need the units, just put down the hatcheries. Green Elf goes for another engage. I think it's a little too soon to spring the trap here, and he's going to kind of end up bleeding units. This is not the most efficient of engagements. He has reduced it down. Now mostly 2 tanks. However, he is bleeding units pretty badly. Kicks up to 150 supply now. Green Elf only 87. He's got Overlord drop coming here, which would have been great earlier in conjunction with the attack, but now there's just going to be a bunch of Goliaths up in front. I don't know how effective that Overlord drop will be, and of course, it's sort of spotted. And now Kix has suspected Goliath shooting down Overlords. One goes down, second one goes down, the others are just being dropped. Yeah, the execution is just not working out here, and now suddenly the situation is looking pretty bad for Green Elf. The army of Kix is growing, and Green Elf really is not being able to dent it effectively with his composition and his decision-making here. And behind this, Kix also securing a 4th base. And now Green Elf sending out another flood of Hydra and Lings, trying to pick this off. If he can somehow get rid of this army of Kix, he has a chance, but it's just kind of units being thrown at it. Some of the tanks from Kix are disjointed, though, and he is able to pick off a few here. Shooting down the vultures and maybe getting a few of the Goliaths, but there are also the tanks here now in range to shoot at the bottom base over at 3 o'clock. And now Kix keeps moving his army forward. And actually each time Green Elf attacks, the supply is increasing, and at this point he realizes he doesn't have the option and has to say GG. And Kix will take game 1. Unfortunately, That is a tendency of Green Elf. He actually has better early game than he thinks, and he sort of gets in a good position, but then after that doesn't know how to take advantage of that or what to do with it, and falls way behind. Like, the push, but his build was just really inefficient. Like, Green Elf was way ahead. Like, if he would have known how to take advantage of that, he should have won that game really, really easily. Oh, I don't want to host a game of Fighting Spirit. But he was unable to do so, unable to capitalize on his advantages or to macro well enough, and Kix takes the first game. So we will go into the second game on Fighting Spirit. Kix leads 1-0. So, spawning in the top left-hand position as the blue Zerg, we have Green Elf. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner here as our teal Terran, we have Kix. Your 1 Vulture dropship. Also, I think if you're going to drop, I don't think you usually make a tank. I think you usually make like 4 Vultures and go drop. And just have your bunker at the front. And just be ready to repair if they were doing something crazy like trying to kill you with a bunch of Lings. I don't even know if a siege tank is that good against the Ling all-in anyway. Alright, so Green Elf. Oh! Cheddar time! We have a 5 pool here. And Kix. Don't know what he's looking for there. I don't know what he's looking for there. Proxy hatch, I'm not sure. Either way, Kix throwing up here the depot. I think it's possible to make a tight wall in this with a factory, but he won't get to a factory in time. So Lings are going to get in his base. That is something of an inevitability. So the question will be, how well does he react to them? Oh, he went to the wrong place for the ramp. Okay. Alright, so the Ling's on the way for Green Elf. And Kix is going to scout the wrong way, so he's going to have no warning of this. Lings are just going to kind of show up at his base. And unfortunately this is D ranks, which means more likely than not the player will not see this especially quickly. This will be an open wall too. So he'll probably lose a Marine or 2 at the ramp before reacting. So this is going to be a pretty tough defense, I expect, for Kix. In fact, these Lings might get here before the barracks is even done, as Green Elf is getting lucky and sending his Lings correctly to Kix's location. And just going to continue making Lings. Let's get an Overlord now, which he does have coming. And no, the barracks is not finished. This is going to be really, really devastating. He's getting gas. He is not going to be well prepared for this. The SCV building the barracks goes down. Green Elf is actually just going to attack the barracks outright. I guess that works. It will force a pull on the SCVs. He has to be careful not to get too drilled, which he certainly can. Now he's got an SCV on the barracks trying to build it. But he is losing a lot of SCVs, and Green Elf microing back. Now this is actually a pretty good place for Green Elf to attack here. He's getting lots of kills on the SCVs. The SCVs not having very good attack in surfing areas. Green Elf is running around a little too much though. And Kix might be able to defend this, especially if he was drilling a little bit, but he isn't taking advantage of that ability, and more Lings pouring in now. It's looking like he's a bit overwhelmed now. I don't know if there's any SCVs left. No, they're not. The command center is actually lifted. So this is pretty much it for Kix. His economy is in tatters. The 1 Marine he has, he's trying to do a little micro with it, but can't really do that with 1 Marine against Lings. And this game is over. There is really no opportunity for him to do anything. He's floating the command center somewhere. I don't know where, but really no opportunities here left for Kix. And Green Elf will tie the series 1-1. Green Elf looks like he's just clicked his Lings onto individual SCVs, and Kix says GG. So we'll go into the deciding game on Grand Line. Green Elf with a chance to make his first ever round of 8 appearance, also his first ever semifinals appearance. I did the wrong game. Whoops. Oh, don't give me that shit. Don't give me that shit. Can I not? Oh, yeah, I can. Okay. K8, WW1. Here we go, Grand Line. Alright, so going into the next game, spawning in the top right hand corner as the purple Zerg, we have Green Elf. And in the bottom left hand corner, getting cross spawns as the yellow Terran, we have Kix. For a second, I assumed it was Coliseum because I'm just like, oh, desert tile set must be Coliseum. What a beautiful orange map. Zero, I have no idea if that's sarcastic and you find it annoying, or if you're serious and have a preference for maps with the desert tile set. This map was pretty popular. There was a pretty sick Flash vs. JD game on this map that went bio into mech transition and into like a long, drawn-out, crazy game with battle cruisers and everything. It was a good game. As much as it pains my heart to mention, there was also the ultimate micro-clinic from Flash against Sulky, where Flash just did like pure clinician. Like, it was just beautiful. Alright, I don't know why. He's going for the wall, but he's doing a wall that's not tight. If you're in a wall, barracks, depot, depot, then you get link tight wall. So this wall's a bit awkward because it's not a wall. Lings will just run right through here all day long. Alright, so Green Elf is going to do overpool here. Now it is cross position, so Lings shouldn't be too scary. It might have been the original Grand Line Red Axis, I don't remember. I just call them all Grand Line. I never make notes on map changes. And the hatch down for Green Elf pretty fast. Maybe it was 12 pull. I don't know. Because it's a bit odd to have that hatchery going. And gas is down. 2 hatch gas this time. Oh wait, never mind. 3 hatch gas. It's there. Just hard to see on this desert tile set. So a few Marines are out. He will not really need to make any more. And does Green Elf have Lings? Oh yeah, he's got Lings out. Unfortunately, the SCV of Kix decides to fight the Ling and will suffer its death. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. You can't actually wall off here. As there's unbuildable terrain. Creep colony going up for Green Elf fairly quickly. He doesn't have vision at the front, which is less than ideal, so he's going to be forced to morph this into a sunken, not knowing exactly what Kix is going to be doing. I'm not sure. Oh, there's a Ling. Wait.
There's no need for that then. You have a lane there. You don't have to morph it into the sunken. It's a little bit wasteful on Green Elf's part to actually morph straight to the sunken. And on the way to Lair. Lair timing looks pretty good though. And Case has a Starport with an add-on, so I wonder what he's going to do. Looks like the same thing he likes to do. And the lair is done. Spire? No. Spire? No. Where is it? Oh my god, this is delayed. Alright, so the Spire's put down. It's kind of late though. Could have been down 15 seconds early. Dropship on the way. And some vultures being loaded up into the dropship. Still not 4, but hey, it's an improvement over 1. 3 actually could be dangerous. And out heads the dropship. Second sunken from Green Elf, which is definitely overkill. And it looks like Cake's wanting to drop the command center here at some point. I don't like this decision to get second factory before command center. It's totally not needed, and that's a pretty significant delay to your expansion. It's just not necessary to 2-fact beforehand. And here comes the dropship. This time Green Elf does not have his Hydras very well in position. The drop is unloaded. The reaction is a little slow. The drones have not begun to run. In fact, there's no Hydra to defend with, so this is going to be really problematic. These vultures can do a tremendous amount of damage. One of these really should start making a sunken right now. That is not happening. And if he's smart about this, he can actually get back here with the vultures and harass these drones tremendously. So Green Elf is going to take a ton of damage from this drop. And he just can't do anything about that. Nothing being added in the main. He's going to have to wait for his meter to come out. So mining is reduced. Actually got 3 kills here. We already got 5 kills, 6 kills. I think he got a couple more here. Yeah, he's got another 4 here. So he's already got about 10 kills. The meter out, so we'll be able to clean up the vulture now. But 10 or 11 kills definitely pays for itself, and then some. Kick's not doing the best job there, microing that. Might even lose the dropship if he's not careful, except Green Elf appears to not care about it. I don't like that decision at all. Allowing that guy to come back is, yeah, not so good. Green Elf has a few Goliaths out. Just now starting range though, but there's also the Valk. And here comes Green Elf again, running in with about 5 meters, but of course there's plenty of defense up right now. This should not be engaging here. He's going to take a lot of damage from this, and this is absolutely not necessary or worth it. He is going to take out the 2 Goliaths and the Valkyrie, it seems, but all of his meter are getting very softened up now, and he will be forced to run away. Doesn't quite get the kill. Oh, flying over a few Marines. He's actually going to stop and kill them. One meter straying. It's straying away. And Green Elf with 2 mutas just kind of tickling the command center, which is a bit annoying, but that's pretty wasteful. And now adding a bunch of lings, oddly enough. It's a very strange addition. No tanks though, so I guess there's still actually an opportunity where lings could do some damage, but it's already getting to be quite a few Goliaths on the field. And behind a nice narrow choke, the lings will not be especially effective. Looks like Green Elf has made a few more muta. And is now he's going to run in here with the lings, but Kix is up the ramp. And moving a few SCVs to block, which that is way overkill. Not necessary, but he'll be nice and safe. Although I guess, well, with the Muta threat, it probably doesn't hurt. As the Goliaths actually would all be attacking the Muta if Green Elf was efficient with this attack. But Kix is just going to kind of chill up the ramp, and unfortunately these things are going to go to waste. Not going to get much done at all, and that's going to leave Green Elf with a very weak economy here as he goes to place his Hydrodon now. And Green Elf just continuing to flood lanes. This is not going to work out though. Kix is starting to get closer and closer towards a critical mass of Goliaths. And yeah, Green Elf just is not going to have any economy to speak of. Now trying to add in a few Hydra, also getting an Evo Chamber and a Queen's Nest, which doesn't really make sense, and it's not that great addition. Val coming back to fight the Muta, a little bit strayed far from the turret, but doesn't matter. Down go the last of those Muta, and now a few Hydra coming, and it looks like Green Elf just wants to try and bust, but there's a tank there. Goliath number's okay, he's remaking some of that wall to narrow the entrance. And look at Green Elf's drone count, so low, has only probably not that many more than 15 or 16 drones. Yeah, just 16. Kix's economy is not that good either though, but it's still quite a lot better than Green Elf's at 31, so basically double economy. As Green Elf has just seen what economy had slip away, as he's kind of made some of these buildings unnecessarily getting drop. I guess he wants to try to do a drop into the main of Kix. If he is planning on doing that, I hope he has Overlord speed. I don't see any Overlords down here, though. They're slow Overlords, so it's going to be a long time before we can even do this drop. Kix should just have plenty of units to deal with it. As much as I hate to say it, I don't feel too bullish on Green Elf's chances here in this game. So Kix just dirtling is just digging in, and his heals and turtling hardcore, which is a fine decision because, well, the longer the game goes on, the more ahead he gets. Green Elf is trying to add some economy now, but he does have drop. Just slow overlords though, and a Valkyrie is going out. It looks like to scout for Kix. +1 carapace finishing up there for Green Elf, and oh, what the hell? Well, that can easily be killed with the drones if Green Elf actually reacts. You can just take the drone. Oh, never mind, there's 2 Goliaths there, so looks like this base will die. unless Green Elf sends some units. It shouldn't die, but he's got to send some units over there. Alright, so we do have a diversion of Hydras coming over here. And with a few Hydra about to pop, if the timing is coordinated decently, should take this out pretty easily. Hydra are down there, we'll go right to work on the Goliath, and now Hydra coming up from the backside, so yeah, Green Elf can hold on to this base, no problem. But again, loses 4 or 5 drones there. So his economy is still quite frail. Oh man, he's like just now getting Hydra range. Wow. And no sign of Overlord speed either. Oh no, he's got it. Okay. So he's got some Overlords down here. He can start to do a little bit of dropping, but Kix is just really turtled. And now Green Elf loading up. Sound possibly can be heard by Kix. And here we go, Green Elf dropping into the main base. Link's being sent out. Immediately going for the turret, as everything actually is. Did he even get all that unloaded? I don't know, but not that many units. Not really that scary here for Kix. It's a bit annoying. He could lose some depots, but they are just lairling, so depot's not going to die all that fast. No plague to assist this, and really only about 3 other Hydras here attacking. We'll get a Goliath kill. That is probably going to be it for this drop. A couple buildings, a couple depots, so I mean it gets a little bit of damage done, but it doesn't really supply block Kix that effectively. And now Kix will be ready to go ahead and move out. And Kix with a basically double supply advantage right now. Sitting at 1-0 upgrades against the 1-0 from Green Elf as well. Just now starting his second. Whoa, double Queen's Nest? What? Double Queen's Nest all the way. And it looks like Kix actually wants to go ahead and push out now. We'll find this overload with his Valkyrie. And actually maybe not quite yet. But has taken his army outside his natural. And Green Elf running in here. I don't know about this. Obviously has nowhere near enough units. I'm not sure what prompted this attack, but obviously that was not a very good attack. And now he's at only 45 supply to Kix's 114. Kix a little reluctant to just go a move. But it looks like this is maybe triggered. No. Just inching forward. I think this is another one of those games where Kix doesn't understand quite how far ahead he is. I mean, he can literally just a move and go leave the computer screen and win at this point. There's just not enough economy or units from Green Elf, and there's not even Dark Swarm that could cause problems if he did that. So Kix coming across the map, floating out a command center. He has landed an SCV here. He will have to mine this. He'll have to make a gas actually to mine this if he wants to be able to land that command center. 2 Scourge will hit the command center, but not that big of a deal. And now the army from Kix arriving down here in the natural of Green Elf. And Green Elf moves forward to fight, but not with all this stuff. It's kind of the units auto-attacking. And there are not going to be enough Hydra here from Green Elf, although the concave is a little bit better. Green Elf can only say GG, and Kix will cruise into the semifinals with a 2-1 victory over Green Elves. Alright, so we'll be going into our next game, which is Borg against
Atomic Archon, a ZVP series. And our first game will be on Circuit Breaker. So spawning on the left side as the white Zerg, we have Borg. And on the right side as the brown Protoss, we have Despa Captain Atomic Archon. Borg is a newcomer to the league, a TAC player. He's a D, maybe D plus Zerg. I can't remember if he stayed on iCup yet or not. That has been added to the TAC roster in the last month or two, since right about the end of DRIT. Borg was added to the lineup, so we haven't seen too much from him, but we'll get to see a little bit more tonight and see how his play looks. And Atomic Archon is a D plus Protoss. And like I said, he's the Despa Captain, and he is known for being controversial at times and a tell-it-like-it-is person, in his own words. And we have the scout coming out here after the pylon, so it looks like he will forge FE. I mean, could 2-gate. I'm thinking forge gate, and he could narrow that a little bit with a pylon or a core or something like that. Should be sending a probe down here in just a sec. Can 11 forge those, so that's all good. Hopefully this one's rallied down. Needs to, okay, there we go. So judging from the timing of the fact it's 11, I think it's going to be a forge. If it's 2-gate, it's pretty delayed. It is a gateway. All right. Well, that's interesting. Still opens the possibility for gate expand. Could also be 2-gate. A bit late on the first gate if it is, though. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's a bit strange. Makes the gateway cancels, turns into a forge. So the forge will be a little bit delayed. Possibly an issue here. Whoa, oh my god. If only Justin was watching, he would have turned over in his grave. Canceling Larva. It's really, 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 really bad to do against Zerg. It's precious early game. Don't want to cancel Larva like that. Just no. Bad idea. Also, I want to note the forge at the top is not ideal. Lings can run through here. Always better to put the forge at the bottom or below the gateway. So this wall is going to end up with extra leaky spots that it wouldn't have to have. Alright, looks like the cannon timing will be fine actually. Got to start the cannon right about when the pool finishes, give or take a little bit on the maps. So we'll have good cannon time. He can go ahead and put his Nexus down. He's going to make 2 cannons first. Does not have to do this. This is a little bit conservative here against Overpool. Although there are going to be 6 links, but you can go ahead and go cannon, Nexus, gateway, second cannon, and then just if you're really worried you can bring probes to block. So a little bit overkill here from Atomic Archon. Not that that's going to put him significantly behind, but he's not going to be in quite as good of an early game position as he otherwise could be. And Borg trying to get this around, and Atomic Archon unable to save the probe. Does have the Nexus down now, so we should have a gateway coming. And there we go. Alright, so like I said, there'll probably be a gap here. There'll definitely be a gap here, and obviously there's the gaps here. So it adds a few gaps to your wall that you wouldn't necessarily want to have if the Zerg was opting to do a Ling run by or something. And I like this. Atomic Archon is sneaking a probe around outside. That is very good to see players doing, because there's so many things, namely Muta and 3-hatch Hydra. If you don't scout early on and don't prepare for it properly, it can be really devastating. Oh yeah, score needs to be at 0-0, huh? Let's do that. And I guess it's Circuit Breaker. Whoa! Alright, so Ling's just kind of setting up here outside of Atomic Archon's base. We can see a Zealot is on the way. He has taken his gas. Needs to start mining it though. It does have that second pylon down, so mostly looking good. Needs to get the core down too. Core and mining from the second gas quite late. Actually, he is up to some shenanigans over here on the left side, potentially with a hidden pylon we can see. Where is the gas mine? Okay, gas mining. We need the core. He's got one extra on gas. Yeah, he's got 4 on gas right now, so he has 1 extra on gas. Needs to transfer some probes. Only about 3 or 4, but we do need to see the probe transfer. Cutting probes a little bit over here to add these fast gateways, so there's going to be some dangerous pressure here to Borg quite quickly. It's not going to be speed lot or +1 or anything like that. I guess that's why he's delaying his core. I'd almost say Alright, is the core? Okay, he's got his core. So this is kind of an interesting build. It's almost, I want to say almost Lancer X inspired, but Lancer X usually just does it with a second gateway. It's like he puts down the Nexus, he drops a second gateway right away, and kind of does a delayed 2-gate in a similar sense to how you would with 12 Next PvP. But this is 3-gate, so this is going to be very aggressive. It will slow the tech a little bit. He's getting chased away now from the front. Lair is fairly close to being done. It looks like Borg executing his build order fairly smoothly here. This is going to be a question of can he get wind of this in time, and if not, there we go. The Zealot's starting in one gateway. Needs to get one started in the other gateway, and if not, that'll be helpful though. I think he's doing that mostly in response to these guys not wanting to make more lings, so he's just going to put down a creep colony. So that will help out a little bit. Alright, now he's got Zealots going in all. Course done, and he's going to get the Citadel. Maybe this is going to be a speed attack. If it is leg speed, it's kind of strangely done build order. This would be better as aggressive Zealots. He's adding that's too weird. Alright. Alright, I don't think this is this great now. Like, the 2-gateway idea with the Zealots is pretty cool. It's also pretty cool if you can make it in the Zerg main or in the backdoor base, because then you can actually flank a SimCity and cause lots of problems. But adding cannons here is just pointless. Like, you'll have the defense for it with the Zealots, and if not, the Zerg has already invested so much into lings, wasting your money on cannons is not going to be good. So that's a bit less efficient. Alright, so we have +1 on the way, and he is getting his speed. The leg timing here is actually really nice. He's going to hit this a good, but again a little bit inefficient here, as the +1 won't be done at a good timing. So he's either going to have to delay his attack for +1, or he's going to hit and he's not going to have... Okay, so he's going to hit when he doesn't have +1. He's coming in here. The other Zealots, though, I guess they've joined up. I don't know, there's a lot of Zealots coming in, and no defense from Tak Borg. Obviously, he's going to be surprised by this. The Zealots running here, they need to start attacking the Sunkens. Lings are coming out to defend. They're actually running past now. Borg is sending them back to defend. The first Sunken obviously falls really quickly, and the second is also going to fall now. All the Lings are being brought back. More Zealots do need to be sent out. The +1 is not done yet. A few drones are dying in this attack as well, and we'll see how the controllers from Atomic Archon. Really good here so far. This is a good place to engage. He's doing a nice job with the Zealots. Wonderful engagement choices here. This one is going to get a little bit lost. Unable to pull it back in time. +1 not done though, so the Lings can have a shot at cleaning this up, and he is down to about 3 Zealots. Reinforcements are on the way though, but Borg is being forced to make a lot of Lings to deal with this, and he's just going to clean it up before reinforcements, so Borg is going to hold this off, and now he will be in a tolerable spot going into the game. We can see the supply for Atomic Archon very low, and he's also behind in worker count right now, and against 3 bases. So honestly, once Borg if Borg snuffs this out and doesn't take serious damage from it, he's going to be in a very strong position. The Temple Archives was made for AA, but it was made a bit quickly. He's being forced to add a lot of cannons now. He realizes there is that danger of counterattack. And some Lings running over here. I don't know why he's doing that. Putting a Nexus down when cannoning up, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Why does his commentary consist of criticism? I would say because it's partly meant to be a little bit of an instructionary commentary, so that's somewhat necessary. You can't really explain how to do things better without explaining what's wrong. And the next round of Zealots here from Atomic Archon. Doing pretty good damage with him here, surrounding and picking off some Hydra. Actually forcing Borg back here quite a bit, and he does have more Lings on the way, but the +1 is done now, so the Zealots will be pretty effective, and now here comes another large group of Zealots. It's going to be a lot of reinforcements. Borg is going to be very careful right here. This can easily spiral out of control, and actually it does spiral out of control, as Borg says GG, I think it's meant to say GG Atomic Archon, and loses his grip on the game. And do I think they're watching this? Yes, I know they're watching this. So I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to get at, unless you're just trolling, which is, I guess, always a possibility. But yeah, that's mostly who watches these games, is the D players that played them. So set 2 is on, yeah, it's on Fighting Spirit. Alright. So, Atomic Archon has the 1-0 lead over Borg. And we'll be going into Game 2 on Fighting Spirit. So yeah, the way I do my D-cast is usually they're part cast, but also part sort of like instructionary / whatever feedback sort of things, and that's what players have told me they like the best. So spawning in the top right hand corner as the red Protoss, you have Atomic Archon, and in the bottom left hand corner as the teal Zerg, we have Borg. Let's see, we get it up, there we go. That looks correct, and it is Atomic Archon that is up 1-0. And Overlord heading up immediately correctly from Borg, so he's going to have a nice quick scout off, and oh, that pylon makes me nervous. That is, it's a really nice spot for this pylon if you get it just right, but that, I can never tell, even when I'm making it myself. I can't remember if it's here, if it's 1 hex, but he might have his Nexus blocked. He might have his Nexus blocked. So we will have to see what happens. Forge being made. Again, a lot of that stuff too is stuff you just would commentate on. Like, you know, let's say you're commentating the game. Player builds a forge up here. I mean, it's just natural as a commentator when you're talking about it to say, well, the forge is up here, so this is vulnerable because it's going to create more gaps in the wall and lanes can run by. I mean, I guess it's criticism, but at the same time, it's something that you just are naturally going to mention because it is relevant to the game. And cannon goes up, and yeah, I'm pretty confident this is blocked. If that is, it's going to be a very unfortunate event. It might even result in an insta-GG, as there's really not a lot you can do if you invest in Forge FE and all of a sudden you have to kill your pylon to make your Nexus. Scouting out what Borg is up to, which is Overpool, it looks like. And uh-oh. Is it going to be able to put down the Nexus? It's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's not looking... Oh, okay, so yeah, the Nexus definitely cannot go down. 2 gateways now have to be made, so we're going to have sort of a delayed 2-gate response. You can probably put down the 3rd gate and try to do some sort of aggressive all-in, but that's going to be really unfortunate here from Atomic Archon. Yeah, he now has to kill the pylon, so he's just going to put up 2 gates in the meantime, and the Nexus obviously will be quite delayed. So a bit of an unfortunate pylon location there. You can actually make a really wonderful wall using the spot 1 hex up and to the right, but that guy is blocked off. And out come the Lings now from Borg. There's only 1 cannon there, and this is 6 Lings. That is a bit of a concern. 6 Lings definitely capable of killing a cannon. The Zealot will not necessarily be out in time, and now Borg putting down the 3rd hatchery here. Is he going to go for it? But Atomic Archon is keeping probes there in position around the cannon. He's narrowed the area, so I think he'll be okay if Borg runs in there with the Lings, which he's not looking like he's going to do. And in the meantime, Borg is just kind of droning up, going to start getting gas, looking like he's playing another pretty typical game. It's worth noting he is taking a another base that's not a natural base, so he's going to be looking at some 3-base, more aggressive play, as there's no option here to just turtle and have instant access to another base. A lot of times Zergs will take it at this base because they only have to defend one side, as this side is sort of already defended from their entrance. but I think Borg just doesn't want to take a base that is close to Protoss. Usually Zergs aren't too worried about that, but there are reasons sometimes where you don't want to be that close to Protoss. And now Archon is going to move out here with 2 Zealots and 2 Probes. So we'll see if we can keep these Probes nicely here near the Zealots, use them for extra damage, make it hard for Zerglings to get a good surround on the Zealots. And this is going to be a little bit of strange pressure. It's actually been downgraded to 1 gate pressure, the 2 gate in response having the Nexus block. Nexus now up. No sign of the tech yet, though, for Atomic Archon. And now the pressure coming down here to Borg. He has no sunken colony, so he's going to need to control well. Actually, probably could have kept fighting that Zealot, as he did have all 6 Lings surrounding it and getting some surface area attacking. And 1 drone goes down, and he's going to try and focus down the drones, but the Lings with a lot of surface attacking area here. 1 Zealot down, the second one is surrounded, and this will be taken care of pretty easily. And now this has to go home. So no serious losses. There's another Zealot streaming down in here. Players do this sometimes where they stream Zealots. We'll see if Atomic Archon can do some nice micro here and pick off some drones. Actually a block by Borg, it looks like, and oh, the Zealot having tons of trouble and does get picked off, so that unfortunately not going well for Atomic Archon at all. Basically donates 3 Zealots for a drone, so not the best trade, and now Borg going to be feeling very, very comfortable in this position now. And has this blocked off. I don't actually know. I think Lings might even be able to run in there. But he's not really in danger of a Ling counter, especially not with a second cannon going up. In fact, even a third cannon in the back here to protect the ramp. But he will be just fine. Borg has not overreacted with tons of Lings, so he's going to be in a pretty comfortable spot right now. Spire on the way, about half health. No sign of Nat Gas, so no serious meter commitment likely here. And we've got the Citadel coming down, as well as 2 more gateways. And Atomic Archon again opting to skip Stargate. And the Hydra Den now thrown down. The only thing needed from Borg, interestingly, Borg is doing a bit of a 4-hatch Hydra, but it's sort of 4-hatch Hydra with like 4-hatch Den, which is different than the standard would be, in which you'd make 5 hatches and then throw down your Hydra Den. Borg switching that up slightly, throwing down the Hydra Den and then grabbing the 5th hatch. Drones count looking pretty good, 31, only 26 probes for Atomic Archon, who is doing a little bit of Zealot pressure, but these are speed lots, so these can just get surrounded and destroyed. He needs to run home right now and try to join up with the rest of his guys, as sending out 2 against 8 speedlings not going to get too far. And will Borg react and pull back? He is chasing in. No, he loses a few Lings, but not too bad, loses 3. And Atomic Archon does save both of his Zealots, so that's nice for him. A little bit of damage on them, and he is going to start pumping a few Dragoons right now. Well, there's always a chance these things can work. There's actually a nice Dragoon all-in build where you can do, where you make a bunch of Dragoons at about 42 supply. You put down 5 gateways, and you just pump Mass Dragoon, and you can pressure real aggressively with that. You cut some probes to do it. Although this is going to be Dragoons off only 2 gate. So I don't know, we'll see. He's probably going to pressure with this, I suspect, although he's making a DT, so I don't know. It's a little bit interesting to have Dragoons in the composition that quickly, but it is nice. I mean, you can sort of attack at the SimCity a little bit with those faster Dragoons, and definitely could come down here if Borg doesn't make Hydra fast enough and sit the Goons out front and range down the hatchery, pick off a hatchery. And here comes this army now. There are a decent number of Lings on the map. These are going to run right into these Zealots, though, and it looks like they're going to die, as the reaction will not be fast enough. +1 is not done, nor is it on the way for Atomic Archon. So here he comes in. I don't think he can bust through with this, but we'll see what he can do here with these Goons to help shoot at the Sunkens. Actually, he's targeting the Hydra Den right now, but Ling's also fighting, and Borg immediately reacting with a drone pull. Hasn't lost any Goons yet, 1 very low on health though, and he's going to run in and continue the aggression. He really wants to snipe off the Hydra Den, it looks like, and I think he can range the Hydra Den. Certainly with the Goons further in the back, he ought to be able to. Yeah, he can. And might even get an Overlord out of this. And actually, Borg doesn't want this to happen, but it's too late. He's lost his Den, so he will not get his Hydra range upgrade. And Zerg's being drones being pulled off the line to deal with this. That's not entirely necessary right now, as he does still have the 2 Sunkens up, and he is making Hydra continuously here. DT coming in right now, though, trying to walk past. Can it slip in? Not quite. One goon also unfortunately suiciding, and now enough Hydras from Borg are out that will push back these goons from Atomic Archon. And he is just making a few zealots, adding some more gateways. No sign of Templar yet, using the archives just for the Dark Templar, which might become a problem as now Borg is under control. He's getting a few more drones over at that third base, and then I suspect he's going to switch into mass Hydra production, and that's going to be a problem here if Atomic Archon does not add a cannon, and by cannon I mean a few cannons, and get some Templar with Storm out soon. You can see he starts development of it, but he needs to get actual High Templar out. Or he's just going to have Hydra ram down his throat and lose. There's a DT in there with that army, not trying to sneak it out right now, it doesn't look like. And whoa, bit of a misride. Oh, and Borg is going to have to pull back here. Oh, and the DT sees the drones in chase of it now. But there is an Overlord, and by an Overlord I mean like 4 at this base to watch for it. Overlord speed almost done good. That'll allow Borg to be aggressive here and not just be pushed back by a DT. Oh, nice. Atomic Archon noticing he's actually still got a few too many guys. I think there's like 5 on gas down there. And this DT kind of waiting in the wings. And sometimes Zerg players do pull all their Overlords. When they go for this attack, it looks like Borg has left one back though, which is going to be the save. Oh man, Overlord attaching in pretty good time. He will see this DT, and now he's commencing an attack here. Hopefully he's checked for Templar. If not, it's a bit risky, but there aren't Templar, so it's fine to be doing this attack right now, assuming his Hydra numbers are good enough. And he is trying to push back the Archons, or the Dragoons from Atomic Archon, and most of them are dying. You will get rid of them, so this is going to be a pretty good trade for Borg, but he needs to keep reinforcing the Hydra. The DT still idle down there at the natural as it is forgotten in the attack. Now he'll hopefully notice it here soon. Yeah, there we go. Now he remembers, I've got this DT, but there's lots of Overlords there, and it looks like it will get sniped down. Can it get away? Just maybe just barely sneak away? Yeah, just barely going to sneak away. As long as he doesn't stop running around with it. And now a few Templar are out for Atomic Archon, who is continuing to just produce goons. He's actually getting Amulet for his Templar, which will be kind of nice. It'll give him 3 storms to work with as opposed to 2. And a large reinforcement of Hydra coming up here from Borg. Not that many units from Atomic Archon, but he does have 2 storms, so we'll see how Borg reacts. It's a bit risky. He's going to be very clumped. 2 good storms here can do a lot of damage to these Hydras. First storm throwdown is quite good. The second storm not quite as good, but we'll soften up all these Hydras, and Atomic Archon going to hold this off pretty comfortably for the moment, but he needs to be careful. Doesn't want to overreach with these goons. He's trying to clear out a few Overlords, but overreaching right now is very dangerous. He's lost his storms for the time being. That's all he has, so just pure Hydra streamed in right now will be very strong against this Protoss army. It's not a large enough goon mass to make the Hydra ineffective. In fact, Hydra are pretty effective against goons in small numbers like this. And yeah, down go a few. Another Templar is out. It is vulnerable to being sniped though, and it looks like Borg is going to go ahead and pull back. Going to connect up, wait for a few more Hydra right now. And is he adding a 6th hatch? Yes, he's adding the 6th hatchery now. Comfortable enough. He's got 43 drones, just 36 probes for Atomic Archon, who is trying to secure a 3rd base behind this. He's gotten the cannons up just fine, so Borg is not going to be able to walk up there. And it looks like Borg's plan is to switch into a bit of a contain here. Now it's worth noting, Atomic Archon has his 3rd base, so there is no way Borg is going to be able to hold this contain. So he's going to have to use this contain. Well, he might just go for an attack. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to go for an attack, so he's going to be very aggressive here. Oh, he's actually remembering to spread his lurkers. This is very nice to see. It's going to make these lurkers much more dangerous. 1 storm alone cannot wreck them. The other Templar responds with a storm. It hits and actually does pretty good damage, but Borg is moving forward. Suddenly a ton of lurkers, and I mean a ton of lurkers. Well, I don't know where those came from, but this is a massive lurker field. If only there were a few more storms, though. They're all clumped. Atomic Archon could decimate it, but it's not there, so the wall is definitely going to go down, and he is going to have to pull back. And if he loses all of his cannons, he's going to be in big danger, and Borg is just charging in here. He needs to pull the back lurkers up forward, too, though. Trying to get rid of all the cannons. He is going for the win. He's putting everything in this huge storm of Hydras coming up. I don't think there's enough units from Atomic Archon to hold, and it looks like Borg is going to be taking game 2. There is going to be enough for one last storm. No units are actually being produced in the gateways. An unfortunate time not to macro. The storm goes out, but obviously cannot kill all of these Zerg units with 1 storm, so Borg takes the game and ties it 1-1. So, pretty nice game there from Borg, who finds his mojo and stride a little bit better there. And unfortunately, Atomic Archon just didn't have the unit count and the Templar needed to hold off the constant aggression of Borg. And that is one of those dangerous situations where if you lose your Templar, you just kind of become vulnerable to Hydra, and it's really hard to get to that stabilization point. Like, he's able to get his 3rd up, but in doing so, he didn't have the unit count needed to hold on to his natural, and unfortunately made a faster exit than he probably wanted from that game. But now we will head into Game 3 on Grand Line as the deciding game. So spawning in the top right-hand corner as our blue Zerg, we have Borg. And in the bottom left-hand corner as our purple Protoss, green Protoss, sorry, I don't know how I got purple out of that, we have Atomic Archon. All tied up, so whoever takes this game here will be advancing on to the semifinals of D-Ranks individual tournament. Apparently Courage doesn't even need practice for DRTL though, as they just cruise their way into the finals no problem, without even having any practice, apparently. Just playing League of Legends practice. I don't know, I guess Courage guys will have sick 1-unit micro. Like, if it comes down to that last Dragoon to win the game where you have to like micro down a bunch of Zealots, they'll be able to do it. Maybe it'll even be so good they'll be able to do it if it's speed lots. Alright, so the probe scouting gate first from Atomic Archon is going to be 2 gate. It looks like it's going to be 2 gate. It is a 9 gate, and it looks like it's going to be a 9-10 gate. Holding probes, waiting for the money. It's going to be a 9-10 gate, so a very aggressive gateway opening for Atomic Archon. Unfortunately for him, he's drawn the worst spawns possible for this, and then it'll be cross map, and Borg will have a lot more time, well, not a lot more, but more time to react, more time to get Lings out. So that is as good as you can get. AA is going to double scout here to check both bases at once, but he will be coming up here on the base of Borg. Also props to converting a friend to a Broodor player. That is difficult to do as everyone is pretty strong. It's tough to have people have the right mindset, like you play and they're just like, oh man, you're way too good, I'm really bad, I give up. It's hard to do. In comes the drone from Borg. He's gonna be like, oh snap. Oh, nice micro, and he gets the drone, so he won't be able to go in. Of course, it's 2 gates, so there really can't be anything else inside the base. And we got 2 more Zealots on the way. An extractor thrown down here pretty quick. And now what Borg will need to do is, as soon as this finishes, get a drone or 2, probably 2 down here, and start putting up creep colonies so that he can get 1 to finish to help hold this off. And, oh, I hope this guy isn't mannered. I hope this guy isn't mannered in here. Gateways have a habit of not being tight, but that looks awkwardly pressed up here against the cliff. Wait a sec, he's gonna move out, right? No, he's not. Okay, this is really weird. It was a 9-10 gate, so he cut pretty hard, but it doesn't look like Atomic Archon is going to offer too much aggression with this. And he's going to go straight to his core. Has his gas. Has a bit of a strange build order, though. We'll see how much it scares Borg into making more Lings than he needs. Lair? Lair? No, he's supposed to Link speed. It must have been Link speed. Yeah, he gets Link speed. first. Borg looks like he's poke at the front with the links now, probably wondering why aren't there zealots? Okay, he's actually going to attack this zealot. If you get a thirdling in there, it'd be kind of a decent attack. Oh, he's trying to come in here and surround. This is a bit aggressive here by Borg, who's trying to do a big run by. Now he realizes he's got links, and it looks like he's going to go try and pick off a few probes. Does manage to pick off one probe. Cannot get into the main, though. Going to run around now with the lings. He has thrown down a third hatchery here at the natural in response to this, and now he's got his run by. So here we go into the main. How close is link speed to being done? Not done yet, but he can try to be very annoying. We'll see how the control is. Now, Atomic Archon, of course, he cut probes to get those gateways out pretty fast, so his probe count right now fairly low. You will want to be very, very careful on losing the probes. I like the way Atomic Archon was doing it there for a sec, keeping 1 or 2 zealots in the mineral line there. Very hard to do damage that way. And there we go. Borg moves in. He attacks with just 1 zealot. 3 on 5 or 5 on 1 is a good engagement. He is just buying time now. It looks like ling speed is done, and these lings can be exceptionally annoying now. In fact, if Borg really wanted to, we would have the option to go ling all in here, as there are no cannons at the front, and he could be very, very obnoxious with those. He's going to attack the pylon a little bit. Should run away right now. There we go. And now he's just got to try to pick off probes. Realizes it shouldn't go in that way. Now tries to come around from the other side, but he's not going for probes. He's kind of just running them around, I think, distracting him. He doesn't seem too committed to actually getting probes. One ling strays, but he does react in time, won't lose it. And panning back to the base real quick, what is going up? A second creep colony. That's a bit interesting, as there's only 3 zealots. Doesn't necessarily have to have that. And he's going to get another probe. And now he runs in, though. He's getting kind of trapped. Nice drill from Atomic Archon. Will catch all of them. And that will end the ling aggression. So that will be a relief for Atomic Archon. Lair on the way. Drones immediately going back to mine for Borg as he morphs this into a sunken. There are 2 more zealots here. I'm afraid, yeah, these are unfortunately trapped. So these games, in terms of building placements, have really been going very unfortunately for Atomic Archon, as he, of course, took a major hit last game, and that his Nexus was mannered, and now this game, that was probably what stopped him from going to do his 9-10 attack anyway, is the fact that these zealots were trapped into the gateway. So he's just like, well, I just need to stay home, be safe, and get a Nexus up, which he has done. Of course, only 16 workers, Borg at 22, so Zerg economy much better. And again, Borg taking a third base, but sort of a random third base. In fact, there's actually another third that would be much smaller and easier to sim. This is going to be incredibly difficult to SimCity up, so that'll be pretty exposed if Atomic Archon elects to attack there. And the Hydrogen going up at the front, I guess that works out as a SimCity. You can kind of defend that way. And now we have some Zealots moving out. Oh, they're moving to the perfect location, too. If they keep heading that way. And a Dragoon out for Atomic Archon. Leg speed? No leg speed. Not researching it. So I think we're just going to see a Templar Archives. A second Forge. So real fast double upgrades, I guess? Oh, and I don't think Atomic Archon's going to see this base, will he? No, it's a really odd location. This is the kind of base that can easily go unscouted. I don't even know if that's 100% intentional by Borg, who is now engaging with a bunch of lings. Nice Zealot line there from Atomic Archon. Is going to force those lings back, though. But normally you'd expect the base to be here. I don't even know if Borg knows this is there, though. And you can see Atomic Archon is going in here to check. He's aware of this base, but doesn't go in that far, actually. If the base was just going up, wouldn't see it. And we have a ling counter across the map. There's no cannons. Goon's very subject to getting surrounded here, and Borg gets a wonderful surround. 2 lings tagging the gateways, and Atomic Archon actually just says GG here. A little bit premature, maybe. I mean, he wasn't in a good spot, but seems like a bit of a quick GG, but that'll do it, and Borg will be advancing 2-1 into the semifinals. And so now we'll have our last series of the night, and it will be Pacifist squaring off against Golandrin, who I know very little about. This game, of course, will be back to Soderberger, and it will be a PvP. So spawning in the top left-hand corner as our white Protoss, we have Pacifist. And in the bottom right-hand corner, as the orange Protoss, we have Golandrin. Golandrin, white Protoss, Pacifist. And Galandra I know nothing about. I don't know what to expect from his skill. I have no idea if he's a D guy, a D minus guy, D plus guy. I really don't have any idea. Pacifist I played against, he's definitely at least D, possibly getting near D plus. He hasn't had the best results in DRTL. Unfortunately, I think he's either won none or one game, which kind of surprises me because I haven't played yeah, Mass Game isn't the one playing. Because I played against Pacifist, and his play is not that bad. Like, he usually macros fairly well, at least to max. And just overall, you know, has okay following of builds. So it's odd that he has had such, I don't know, such poor results in DRTL, but I'm not entirely familiar with his match list. It's quite possible that he's just ran afoul of a bunch of C- guys and hasn't had any luck for that reason. As this season, as most people know, DRTL was in large part C- RTL. So both players opting to open fairly standard, it looks like, with Gateway and Gas. So now we'll just have to watch and see how quickly both of them are going to place their core. And both players, of course, scouting each other on the second try. No one scouting through the middle, and no other scouting pattern really produces that. I wish MCA Launcher actually port forwarded, but it doesn't port forward automatically for me. I don't think it has access to the router, so I can't do it. So Pacifist is going to go core first. Galandran is going to go Z core Z, so Pacifist is going to come out a little bit ahead of this. And since it's not 2-gate or anything like that, he'll be under no real threat. So there's the core for Galandran. And a Zealot for Pacifist. And oh, the Zealot from Galandran heading by the probe, so I think he intends to go out and harass. And now Pacifist coming in here with the probe, gonna see everything looks pretty darn normal. And has sent his probe here, Zealot to chase the probe, and oh, Galandran, okay, just barely reacts. We'll see if we can keep that guy alive. One hit away from death, Goon on the way for Pacifist. No sign of range. Oh, range immediately starts. We'll see Galandran so far delaying range a little bit. Does have a Goon started, so we gotta watch and see if he's gonna get range. Usually, you'll at least spin air weapon for a little while the probe is in your base until you can get rid of it. But he is definitely getting a slower range from Pacifist. And if this keeps up a little more, Pacifist would have a window here where he's gonna have range and Galandran won't. Harass Zealot from Galandran arriving. Let's see how well Pacifist handles it. So far, not so good. One probe goes down, no reaction. The Zealot needs to come over and defend, and second probe, there we go, that's a little bit better. Just a little bit of a drill, but he's not continuing to attack. So he has lost 2 probes already to this harass Zealot, now returning to the mine, a lot of mining time, but it looks like he's going to clean this Zealot up, and it will get one more kill, I think! No, just sniped off before it gets one more kill. And Galandran, though, no range. So this could be trouble depending on how Pacifist elects to play here. I assume he's going to be going for Citadel. Okay, so there will be a Citadel, so that will help, and that will make this a little more reasonable. So Galandran's going to be going with a DT opening. And Pacifist dropping that Robo, so he should be fine. The Robo's pretty quick, 23 Robo, although it looks like he didn't cut Goon production for it, so it should be fine. I mean, the supply's a little bit low, though. He lost a few probes with harass, so that would account for supply a couple lower. And Galandran just chilling at his ramp, getting the Templar Archives now. Alright, so we got 3 goons. Looks like it's going to be a 1-gate DT opening. Yeah. And he will need a forge here reasonably soon, unless he's just going to blindly assume that Pacifist will be not making DTs. And Observatory first, will he make the shuttle? Seems the answer is no. Seems like it's going to be Obs first, so it'll be a reasonably delayed Reaver. Alright, we have DT on the way. Nexus going down. He's going to need the forge here. He's playing this pretty confidently that Pacifist is not going to make DTs. I mean, he's got his DT about to finish, and he hasn't even, well, he hasn't even started to forge. So Galandrin just assuming that Pacifist not going to make DTs, and he's going to luck out here and not be faced with DTs. So he will get away with his build. It'll allow him to be a little bit greedier. And the DT now going to head across the map here for Galandrin. The Robo Bay is done, and Pacifist will make first the Reaver, which is generally more indicative of expanding first and just crawling the Reaver down and then getting the Nexus. Whereas if you're looking to be aggressive or harass faster, usually you'll make the shuttle first, and then at half shuttle you throw down the Robo, and that saves a little bit more time to getting your whole combo out. Alright, so here comes the DT. There's... oh no! Oh no! Oh, okay, the OBS has noticed though. It is coming back, but the DT has slipped in. Pacifist needs to keep an eye on this guy. Hopefully he can drill the probes fairly well. Needs to wait for that DT to come a little more in the mineral line and then drill on top of it to buy time, which he's not. And he's trying it, but he's gotten a few kills already. Let's see if I can find it and click on it. It's got 4 kills. I don't know what Pacifist is doing. He doesn't attack it for a second, but it was attacking the goon, so it's okay. DT dies with 4 kills. Not that terrifying. And I hate to say it, man, if Pacifist counters right now, Galandrin will die if the execution is decent. As he has, for whatever reason, made a DT and not followed up with Templars, which means you'll just have a lower goon count and delayed range. So if Pacifist just followed up, if his build, especially if your build was a little more efficient, if you just followed up with Goon Reaver, he just dies. And now adding 2 more gateways, but those gateways, it depends on Pacifist's timing. If he waits for like 2 Reavers, then the more goons will kick in and it'll be a little bit more okay, but can you survive DT if you make shuttle first? Generally, yes. If they proxy the gateway or something, it can be a bit of a problem. But yes, the general rule of thumb is you'll still be okay. The DT will probably bang away on your goons for a couple seconds, but you won't die. Now, Pacifist does have to be a little bit careful here. He has not sniped this DT, so this guy can walk back in later. But Pacifist has made a second option. He's keeping a goon at the ramp, I think. So he should be alright. This DT will Reagan's mouth, but he should be alright. As long as it doesn't like run by and get unnoticed in the confusion and just slip in and massacre a bunch of probes, will be fine. So he is now coming down for this attack, but he has given Galandrin a little bit of time. Had to wait for that shuttle, and Galandrin has more Dragoons producing. He's gotten his range done, and he is going to be able to use the bridges here. 6 goons against 7. Oh, he's got to be really careful with that shuttle. Oh, it's a disaster. Oh no. Oh no. That's really unfortunate. So Galandrin is really having everything go his way this game. Basically, Pacifist's choices ended up being exactly what Galandrin hoped, and Galandrin was able to get away with some really, really greedy play. And then, of course, Pacifist having that unfortunate moment where he most likely would have been able to kill Galandrin, but was unable to do so as the shuttle just kind of suicided. Got a little too out in front of that army. And now Galandrin going to be in a wonderful position, obviously, as he's already started mining quite a few minerals from this Nexus, and Pacifist only just now putting it down. Going to be a really... and Galandrin, wow. Confident enough to put down a 3rd Nexus. Just drops it. Trying to decide if I feel this is greedy or not, if this is actually safe. I guess since he's got a Reaver, I guess that's decently safe, but he's going to cancel it. Nice job move from Pacifist there. He's just got to be wary of this shuttle now. Has the 2nd Reaver of his own now. Whoa, back away, run away, run away! Alright, Pacifist backing off, and Galandrin adding a bunch of gateways now, going up to, looks like 7 gateways. And is going to get speed, and into the base comes the Reaver and the shuttle. The probes need to run. Oh, this guy might actually go off. No, it looks like it's just barely going to bug. Oh, that was really close to... oh, but another huge one goes off on a bunch of probes inside. And now Pacifist is trying to snipe down the shuttle, but it's only 1 goon, so it is going to sneak out. Oh, there's another one in position. Can he get it before speed kicks in? Target the shuttle. No, target the shuttle. Target the shuttle. No, no, get the shuttle. Get the shuttle. Get the shuttle. Get the shuttle. Oh, no, it gets away. Oh, oh man. I feel for you. That shuttle 1 goon shot away. Now it's going to get away and live to have speed another day. getting pretty close to having speed. Now Pacifist returning home with the rest of his goons, and unfortunately the Reaver inside has done some damage too, and Pacifist now puts up a third base, which might be a problem. 3 gates right now against 7 gates, and it looks like maybe that is going to be more gates. Yeah, against 8 gates right now, 7 going to 8 gates, only 3 for Pacifist. Might be very difficult to defend this third base. As Galandrin has Reavers, he's going to be able to come up here on the high ground, attack from high to low against only goons of Pacifist. If Galandrin sees this opportunity, I think Pacifist can have a really, really hard time dealing with this. What are the probe and supply counts? 32 probes against the 36, so the economy not all that different. Galandrin has been cutting pretty hard to get all these gateways and such up, but his army is certainly bigger right now. I see 4, 8... This has got to be at least 2 control groups plus a shuttle, and Pacifist army is maybe a control group. So this is going to be an incredibly difficult army to deal with here if Galandrin attacks, which it looks like he wants to do with his army here sitting outside the front. So yeah, we see Galandrin now moving out. He'll probably choose to come up over the high ground route. It'll be the best attacking path for him. Trying to come across the bridges will not work as well, especially with the Reaver to defend. But Galandrin is getting a good look at that army. He's going to be like, there's not that much there. And yeah, now it looks like he's... Wait, no, he's moving across the bridges. Oh, this could be really bad. He drops the Reaver carelessly, loses it immediately, and he's trying to just walk across the bridge, but this might give Pacifist the defense he needs, but I think Galandrin's army might still be so absurdly big that it will just punch through, and it looks like that is what's happening. It wouldn't be the greatest choice of engagements normally, but Galandrin's army is just too big. The Reaver's not really... amazingly not targeting each other, so it's kind of strange that the Reaver was dropped there and is still alive, but unfortunately Galandrin was just too far ahead with 8 gateways, and Pacifist trying to expand off 3, and just faster expansion and stuff for Galandrin anyway, not going to work out, so Pacifist looking pretty dead, and GG is called, and Galandrin will take a 1-0 lead. Cakes, your finals debut is 5 games away, or maybe 3 if you really destroy your opponent. Or are you saying you're going to win so bad he's just going to GG completely after 1 game and just like leave the series? So going into our next game on Fighting Spirit, spawning in the top right hand corner as the purple Protoss, we have Pacifist. And over on the left side again as the orange Protoss, we have Galandrin, who leads this 1-0 on Fighting Spirit. It's best of 5. It's best of 5. Best of 5 semi, best of 7 final. Per always.
Pylons go down for both players. And a gateway thrown down. So both players with gateway. Galandrin probably going to... No, just a little bit slow on the gas. So both players are going to take gas. We're going to see another relatively standard opening PvP. And this time core right away for Galandrin. And Pacifist is doing the Zealot first this time, so they're kind of switching roles. There's the core from Pacifist, as well as a pylon. And Galandra in this game immediately getting range, so I don't think we'll be seeing DTs twice in a row. The I Love Uv build is not a build that I Love Uv did himself, though. It's a build he essentially made primarily for fantasy, but in general for Terrans as a response to Protosses at the time they were being really greedy. It involves harass and a bunch of factories and stuff. But I Love Uv never did the I Love Uv build. Minsk and Boo, have you seen the thread's called replays ... or ... and the harass out from Pacifist there will go down pretty easily. Damage minimal or non-existent. But yeah, there's a thread called replays ... or ... Look in there, there's tons of replay packs. There's like 10 high yaw packs. And I think there's a couple other Terran packs. I know there's a couple shiny packs, but there's a bunch of stuff in there. So, in answer to your question, yes. Oh, Mana Pylon. Decent one. 2 traps, 2 probes. And what is going on here? I think that's a non-intentional. I think that's a misrally. But luckily Pacifist is able to save the goon. And another Mana Pylon goes down, and this time it traps 3 probes. We'll see if Pacifist can glitch any out of there. You kind of got to spam the minerals and hit stop, and usually you can glitch all of them out, or all of them but one out. But it looks like Pacifist can't quite glitch them out, but it will be cancelled. Not going to leave that bad boy up. And so Pacifist going 2-gate Ob. And we have 2 gates here from Galandrin. There's the Robo. So a bit slower Robo, but faster gateway for Galandrin, and vice versa for Pacifist, who is moving across the map with 4 goons, but of course Galandrin already has 5 on top of his ramp. So Pacifist will certainly won't be able to do damage, but if he's just intending to go to the front and poke and confirm that it is some sort of Robo opener, he will be able to pull that off. A little bit interesting of Galandrin to hide up his ramp, though. Gotta back off. A little bit interesting for him to hide up his ramp, though, with a 2-gate build like that, as you can get contained pretty easily if you're not careful. Especially if the other player's doing 2-gate and you're hiding. It's a lot safer to be down, and if he runs in with too many goons, you just back up and go up your ramp, and then you're fine. In fact, you can do that just fine most of the time, even if you're 1-gate expoing. You just sit down there. That way you can deny the scouting and stuff like that, and if he surprisingly comes with a large number of goons, you just pull back real quick and go up your ramp and defend. So Pacifist is plugging with goons. Now he has them at the bridge, but this isn't really a contain. Galandrin, of course, going reverse. Pretty nice observatory timing, though. I like it. Almost exactly when the shuttle finished. It looks like he's a little bit blocked. There we go. And he's going to make the reaver first. I think he's decided from the fact that Pacifist showed up with a decently high goon count that Pacifist also is going robo opening. So this time he's playing a little... Oh, wait, is that his own obs? No, that's Pacifist obs. Yeah, so I think he's this time playing a little bit safer. Like he's actually scouted and playing safely rather than blind build. He is getting robo speed. And the Dragoons up here looking for a shuttle, but it does not exist. And Pacifist is also with a small supply block, not quite able to make his Reaver right now, the second Reaver, but he does have one. And it looks like the first Reaver is out for Golandrin, who is probably just going to go harass with this. And just playing very defensively right now. And Pacifist bringing his own Reaver over here to the front, perhaps going to try to hold on to this contain. And of course the one danger in doing a contain like this is exactly this, in that all your Dragoons are out here and none are back at home, which is a little bit surprising he's done that, since he had Ob there. I don't know where it's gone. Where is your Ob, Pacifist? Seeing that shuttle, he should have been able to see that shuttle leave, realizing he needs to have something at home, which he does not right now. And a few pilots on him. He's got the one Dragoon here, but nothing else. And this is a speed shuttle, so let's see if there's reaction. It's actually not too bad, but it's doing some damage. It's got one. Oh, just barely. It'd be okay. But the first Scarab was pretty decent. And now the Dragoon is trying to defend. Honestly, he could probably just use the shuttle and kill the Dragoon with the Reaver. Second Dragoon, though. And goes for the Reaver, but this Scarab's going to be a big one! And a second one! Oh, nope, goes for the Goon instead. Shuttle getting very low on health. Reaver is dropped. Trying to be very aggressive here with the shuttle, and it's sort of working out, but it's down to its last shot of health. Let's see if Pacifist can intercept it. Golandrin, I think, is expecting that Pacifist might do this. It's going to be very close. He should... Wait. Oh, no, he's returning back. He's coming back for more. And the Dragoon is not there. Pacifist doesn't seem to see it quite yet. And another good Scarab goes off. Lots of damage being done to the economy, although it's actually worth noting that with all that damage, the economies between the two players are almost identical. But the shuttle's still alive, still harassing. It's just out of position again, the probes. Will they see it? It seems there won't. This time he targets the shuttle. Now the probes are on the Reaver. Oh, it's out of Scarabs! He can still get some probes, though. The rest need to... Nope, the rest will be okay. Alright, so 22 probes here versus 23. So the economies are actually dead equal after that harass. Golandrin had really been cutting a lot of probes, as seems to be his style of PvP. So Pacifist is still in a good spot. As long as he doesn't die outright here in the next attack, he'll be in a great spot. And I think he's okay. What's the army size? 16 goons versus 17? So yeah, he should be okay. Barring any mistakes, Pacifist's going to be in a pretty good spot. Pacifist might need... Well, no, he just lost some probes, so he can't really afford to add gateways. Getting that second Reaver out. And Golandrin only just now expanding, whereas Pacifist has had his Nexus for quite a while. 77 supply against just, well, 74 for Golandrin. 23 probes. Pacifist way pulling ahead in probes right now, as Golandrin is just totally cutting hard. But yeah, I mean, all Pacifist has to do right now is chill. He is very far ahead in this game. Oddly enough, though, he's moving out, which he should not do, as he's a few goons behind, and Golandrin's just all there at the bridge. Oh, second round of shuttle, but it's gonna... Oh, so close to killing it. And it will be chased off for the time being. As Pacifist moves across the map, shuttle gonna go for the main. Alright, Pacifist knows it's there. How's the reaction time? Needs to pull. Probe's gotta run. Probe's gotta run. Oh, this could be a big Scarab, and it is a big one. That's most of the transfer. That's another 8 or 9 kills. And suddenly Pacifist is attacking. This is not wise. He doesn't have to attack. He's way in the head. The shuttle again for Pacifist. It's flying on a suicide trajectory. No! No! I think Pacifist is gonna snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. I fear he's throwing everything away here at the front. Galandrin has Reavers and a pretty large-looking goon army behind this. Pacifist, even after that, was still 5 probes ahead. He did not have to do that, but now he's wasted the huge majority of his army. Incredibly unfortunate situation. Not a good decision at all for Pacifist. And now he is like to die to the counter, and yeah, he just says GG. Man. The first game Galandrin had you, but this game you were so ahead. No. Alright, well, Galandrin will take that one 2-0. Yeah, you were way ahead. Even after that, you were still 5 probes up. Your economy was way good, and you had 2 Nexus producing everything. Well, that is all as far as casting goes. Tell you what. We know all the results, right? Yes. So, we're gonna do this. We're gonna assign 1 goal, 2 will go to Minsk, 3 will go to Borg, and 4 will go to who's the last player that advanced? Kicks. So those are the numbers, and we'll go to find a random number generator here. And we'll generate group numbers. Let's see if we can have a nice random... Oh my god, spelling fail. Number generator. Let's see if we can restrict this thing to 1 through 4. Alright, we'll play dice roller, we'll do it that way. Roll 1 virtual dice. So 4 is going to be paired with whoever comes up next. 1. So 4 and 1 will be paired for groups, or for semifinals. So that means, as I wrote myself, we will have Kicks versus Galandrin and Minsk versus Borg as semi-final matchups. Nope, I rolled 4 and 1, so 4 is Kicks, 1 is Galandrin, and that leaves 2 and 3 to be paired. I don't know why Wikipedia has you in a bracket, but I don't even know how that could have been generated, unless someone like just generated it like recently, because pacifist wasn't applied. But no, these are the matchups that I just generated right now. So Wikipedia bracket is wrong. I don't even know why that was there. Maps I had to figure out. I thought I knew what I had in mind for the order, but we have to see here. Date was scheduled for February 1st. Let's go February 15th. Will be our date, so that gives you guys about 10 days to play and practice. I gotta see what maps I even allowed myself to use. Right, yeah, map. Okay. So again, we'll roll die and just go in order of the maps we get. So let's see. Random number generator. Roll 1 dice. Roll. Alright, so we have 2 in the pack, 3, 1, 1 again, so we have 2, 3, 1, 5, and we need a 4 or 6, whichever one comes up first. 5. So 2, 3, 1, and 5. So destination, spirit, 2, 3, 1, 4, and 5. So we have these maps.
as our map pool. So let's post this. Semi-final map order. Matchups. T. Kicks versus... Wait, was it Borg? No, it's Kicks versus Golandrin. And Minsk and Boo versus Borg. So there will be there could potentially not be a turn in the finals. It's not guaranteed. At time stamp 11 in AM MST / time post. Yeah, pretty good semifinals for racial balance. Can't get any more balanced than that. Well, I think I'm going to play some games, so if any of you guys want to play right now, feel free to come by OPTL and we will play. If anyone wants games, I'll be in OPTL now. Start streaming. And turn on. Oh yeah, we have to kill this though. So I'll be back.